Today in the episode, Mad Lab, a new take on motorcycle builds using Syndicate parts. Voice of the Wasteland, where we read your messages and choose the craft of the week. And we begin with Workshop, a guide to delayed gratification with the Phoenix. Have you ever had a feeling that your enemies perish way too quickly? Sometimes you just want to enjoy the process, right? Let us show you how that works with the help of the classic Omae wa mo shinderu type weapon, the Phoenix. Even the looks of this crossbow convey a very simple message. It is built with a single purpose in mind, to inflict pain. It's all angles and spikes, and there's a bunch of explosives strapped to each of its bolts, because it's not painful enough to just get hit with a massive metal dart, obviously. But there is one thing. The crossbow deals a lot of damage, but not right away. Take a look. We shoot the bolt, hit the target, but where's the explosion? Wait for it. Aha! Half of their vehicle's gone. Beautiful. Naturally, having to deal with this time delay is not exactly convenient. First, you have to hit the target, and that might be tricky because bolts aren't that fast, and then you also have to wait a few seconds before the explosives actually go off. And in combat, even a single second makes a world of difference. Furthermore, during that time our projectiles can be shot off, and experienced survivors take advantage of that all the time. There's an important caveat here, however. It is possible to remove a bolt yourself, but it's no easy task. In most cases, you have to rely on your teammates to save you from going up in flames. On the other hand, if everything goes smoothly, the Phoenix turns every encounter into a fight against dead people. Yeah, they look and act as if they're alive, but there's already a bunch of explosives right next to their gas tanks, so goodbye, my friend. Okay, that's it for first impressions. What's next? Functionally, our crossbow works in pretty much the same way as a classic cannon. It benefits from having an engine that buffs your reload and from having lots of ammo. With that taken care of, we get ourselves the Harpy, or the Echo. When it comes to a chassis, just pick what you like. Strictly speaking, hovers might be your best choice, but they take a lot of getting used to. One last thing, Phoenixes require a lot of space. These are some thick birds, so make sure that your car has enough surface area to accommodate them. Ready? Perfect. Let's test this thing in actual combat. The main thing you have to remember is that Phoenixes are all about careful planning, right from the very beginning of the match. Where are you going to go? Where are your allies going to go? What positions are you going to defend? And who you're going to help? All of that determines whether you're going to be effective or not. Naturally, it pays to think like that with almost any weapon system, but doubly so if you're using the Phoenix. Honestly, at times it might be really nerve-wracking. But if you like to play mind games and enjoy a high-risk, high-reward kind of gameplay, the Phoenix will absolutely deliver, with lots of unique encounters and countless explosions. And now, a short commercial break.
Stop catering to useless meatbags. Raise your tracks for the sake of a revolution. Become a Ravager. 2 times less worries, 4 times more hydraulic pipes.
With the arrival of the Syndicate, almost every class of movement parts now has at least one option allowing you to move sideways. And we're pretty sure that many of you already made full use of new unique wheels to build some cool vehicles. We also took a good long look at these wheels and realized that this is our chance to make even crazier motorcycle designs. Last time we attempted this in the Mad Lab, we built several motorcycles, but they were more of a showpiece with rather conventional designs and limited combat potential. Well, you know that if you've seen them, and if not, do check them out. We're pretty proud of the end result. Today we're planning to take it further, even closer to the realm of madness, obviously. Let's start with something simple. This is an upgraded version of our Moto 1 design that you can easily find on the exhibition by using the tag TG2. What changed? First, we installed new wheels. Now you don't actually need to move forward to make a turn. Functionally, Omnis exist somewhere in the exotic realm squeezed right between the Kingdom of Tracks, the Federation of Meat Grinders, and the Empire of Hovers. As a result, we get a much more maneuverable bike that is capable of moving sideways and doing lightning-quick 180-degree turns on the spot. We also replaced some other parts to stay in line with the spirit of the recent update, and fitted the bike with a brand new drone. Naturally, all of that didn't magically turn the motorcycle into the bane of random battles. Far from it. It's a lot of fun to use, but at the end of the day, it's still a vehicle with very vulnerable chassis and limited building options. If we really want to step it up a notch and revolutionize the flourishing industry of making motorcycles out of wasteland junk, we need to start from scratch. And that's exactly what we did with our second bike. Say hi to the mighty Sideways bike? Sideways cycle? We're not sure what to call it, actually. It has everything. A powerful gun, all the mobility, a pretty low profile. But first, we probably have to explain what the hell we were thinking, right? First of all, it's much easier to cover this type of chassis with armor. Omnis do not work in the same fashion as regular ST wheels. No ST wheels on the car, no problems with covering them with armor. Perfect. Second, due to its layout, our vehicle inherently makes for a small target. It's almost as tightly built as a sideways hover. Third, and especially if we compare it to a conventional wheeled vehicle, our side bike is especially mobile. To tell you the truth, maybe even too mobile. We couldn't always predict where we'd go with our craft sometimes basically phasing into parallel dimensions after just a light turn of the steering wheel. Obviously, we don't expect this design to change the meta or anything. It won't do that. But this template can certainly be used to make some really cool and effective vehicles, especially if clan engineers take an interest in it. What can we say? We're really looking forward to seeing what kind of crazy shenanigans you guys come up with. The first message comes from Epilus Prime. Can we get some more Dawn's Children representation? Perhaps a Mad Lab or Workshop segments showing off some of their deadly laser weapons? Possibly the Prometheus 5, since that weapon is seen in the Mad Lab intro segment. Hi, Survivor. Yeah, why not? We do love our mad scientists. Certainly adding this to our list of ideas. The next question was sent by Dark Soul Gale.
Hi, mate. Can I get some explosive armor in the future to negate a cannon shot?
Hi, friend. Explosive armor is pretty cool for sure, but we currently have no plans to add it to the game. Maybe in the future? We'll see. Then there's this message from Brice Pereira. Hello, guys. Something that could be interesting in battles. An epic ammo box that doesn't explode after you run out of ammo. Hey, Brice. It's a neat idea and we considered it, but there's a problem. We don't see a good way to make the state of the ammo box obvious to other players. And it doesn't make for a good player experience when you nail a hit to the ammo crate and it doesn't go boom for some reason. Was it because it was empty, or was it just a bug? You can never be sure, and that doesn't feel good. Don't Beat Me asks, how do you feel about combiners builds? I enjoy watching them more than normal builds. You mean fusion builds? We love them. As far as we're concerned, they're an integral part of the crossout experience. That's why we have things like Contact 2M in the game. Glad that you also dig fusion vehicles. And now it's time for possibly the most important part of the show, where we choose one car from the exhibition to show it to the whole world. Or what's left of it anyways. Our pick for today is Ravager Harvester by a talented engineer called Mr. Jeku. Don't you want to play as a Ravager sometimes? We do. And we're pretty sure that any Ravager seeing this build would totally wave its hydraulic pipes in various signs of approval. We don't have any hydraulic pipes, we think, but we share the sentiment. That's a really cool build. That's it for today. Tell us what you think in the comments below, ask us questions, and if we somehow stop planning the robot uprising, we'll return with some new crazy content in a couple of weeks. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing, leave a like, and good luck!